Next up, Russ and I are going to review Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
And if you have a lust for life that matches Dennis Hopper's performance in this film, make sure you subscribe to our page, like this video, click the little notification bell so you don't miss any future videos.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is another movie that's coming out. This is from Vinegar Syndrome, which this was previously released in 2016 on Blu-ray from Scream. For now, we're just going to talk about the movie, which came out in 1986, directed by Tobe Hooper, who also directed the 1974 original. In between directing that and this, he directed Eaten Alive, The Funhouse, Poltergeist, Life Force, and Invaders from Mars. This movie, considered a black comedy, follows a radio DJ who is captured by Leatherface and then the formal marshal that is hunting the family for their crimes years later.
That sounds about right.
Is that about right, Russ?
Yep.
And it's kind of funny to me, and I don't know if this was Dennis Hopper's doing or what, but that they go with that Breakfast Club gag poster, but his name, it's not like Dennis Hopper in, he's not on the poster anywhere. Like, I didn't know until you told me, showing me some clips from this movie, that he was even in it, because he's not on any of the marketing stuff. No. Like, why not? Answer.
That's it. Well, I don't know. But you know what's funny is that Breakfast Club parody poster is pretty goddamn iconic. I remember seeing that all the time as a kid in the video store.
I would pass that VHS box art or poster or whatever.
Such an awesome cover.
I would look at it and I would always think to myself, because I knew it said 2 on it, and I was like, I thought this movie was scary. Like, I thought, because you could just tell that this is like a joke. Like, I didn't even know the Breakfast Club thing until you told me that. And I'm just like looking at that like, this is just silly. I thought this was like Leatherface is holding up his hand. I was like, is this a joke?
It's very representative of what the film is. Yes, It's very representative of it. Especially, oh God, if you're a fan of the original and you're going into this expecting the tone of the original, you're going to be pissed off.
Yeah.
It's a little weak in the breast department. I have to admit that. I told Toby just today I was taking off 1/2 star just for that one thing.
Think Evil Dead 2. Think Gremlins 2. Think of any sequel where it goes in, you said a black comedy. It's a perfect way to describe it. It's having fun. It knows it's ridiculous.
I mean, there's some tricks up my sleeve that, that makes this different. It's certainly different from all the 13ths and the Halloweens and, and all of those.
Going in this direction was wise. It was fun. It was smart.
Like, all the reasons why you like to is, it sounds like the reason why a majority, at least of critics or whomever, didn't like it.
This is not a critic film.
It was criticized for focusing more on the black comedy and gore, whereas the original focus is more on tension, fear, that low-budget pseudo-documentary.
But that's what's stupid. Like, that's not the intention of the movie. How can you criticize it for not being scary? Yeah. It's not trying to scare you in the same way the original did.
Well, Tobe Hooper actually commented in its defense, just saying that the original, in his mind, was also black comedy, but it was mainly unacknowledged by the general population due to the fact that it was so gritty.
Low budget, yeah. You can't recreate that, so why try? And he didn't. It was smart. And he made a funny, entertaining film that has been riffed on countless times since its release. Go watch House of a Thousand Corpses. House of a Thousand Corpses, Rob Zombie's film, is basically the last, say, 20 minutes of this movie. Right down to casting Bill Moseley in it.
Slap me fine.
I guess the powers that be decided that even past the second one, even if the critics didn't really love it, that there should be more. And this went and spawned 7 more films, including sequels, reboots, and a 3D entry. You've talked about the tone, why it's different, why it's better that it's different. I know we cannot not talk about Dennis Hopper. From what I've seen, and I haven't seen this movie, but from the small clips that you've shown me, it just looks like he's just having the best time of his life on screen. I mean, I don't know. He kind of always looks like that. But
Hopper, to me, he's playing it. It's a combination of giving 0 fucks about the material and, as you said, just having fun. Hopper is hyper aware of what movie he is starring in.
Oh, yeah. When he picks up those chainsaws, he's like, I'm in a chainsaw movie, baby.
Yeah. Yes.
Definitely.
He goes for broke.
He goes for broke. Ebert said this about Hopper. He says, he's playing a man who spends the first half of the movie looking distracted and vague, and the second half screaming during chainsaw duels.
That's exactly it. That's what I'm saying. It's like he
nailed
looks
it.
bored, like he knows it's shit, and then he's just having a blast. Having it be comedic, having it be absurd, and having Hopper not only play it that way, but just having Dennis Hopper in the movie itself adds to all that stuff, adds to that tone. It's insane. Bring it all down. It's insane.
Yep.
If you're a fan of Gremlins 2 and enjoy what Gremlins 2 did with the original Gremlins, wow, you're in store for some laughs with this one. It is a very entertaining, fast-paced film. The way we're describing it and the way Ebert described it and everything else we're saying, trust me, it's a better movie than what we're all letting on to. It's not shit. Like Gremlins 2.
Yeah.
Not shit, dude. This is a good filmmaker making an intentionally
Funny
B film
movie.
Yeah.
Even though I guess it wasn't a success technically in the mainstream to me and to you, because we already kind of alluded to this, I feel like it really picked up steam in home video, video stores, and whatever. It found its audience at home basically. Similar, like we said, to Halloween. This movie is another one that's got like sequels, but also reboots, and then new timelines and prequel timelines and all kinds of stuff.
They have made the exact same movie 6 times. That's something I admire. That's hard to do.
The continuity, like I said, in this universe, it's not, it doesn't matter.
It's like an anthology. Just It's a new story.
It'd be like, actually the Evil Dead comparison is great. What's the continuity between Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2? It's almost like a quasi remake, right? Each sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre is like that.
Gotcha.
It's almost like a quasi remake, just with a different vision.
Original timeline, which is the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Leatherface Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Next Generation, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. Then there's the Platinum Dunes remakes timeline, which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Beginning, which is the prequel to that movie. And then there was the Millennium Film series, which you had Leatherface 2017, which is a prequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre #1. And then after that, the third in that series is Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Fuck.
I mean,
The new one's pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah, I'd watch it again. No, I'm serious. Again, we're in like part 9 of a slasher series. And the reason why I say man is because I read a lot of people trashing it. And I watched it going in, thought it was going to be like the new Halloween. And I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, what are you guys expecting from this? There's a scene where he goes onto this bus. It's like a party bus. And he just starts slashing motherfuckers. And I liked it.
Well, back to Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. So we said that it has been on Scream Factory as a collector's edition before, which you own. Now it's being released in this absolutely gorgeous set from Vinegar Syndrome.
How much?
I think the box looks great. There's 1,000 features on here, tons of new, tons of old. Russ, is this a pre-order for you? You already did?
I pre-ordered this the minute it was available.
All right. And so this will be coming in next week for you then.
Yeah.
Maybe you bring it over here and we could take a look at it.
It's interesting to me. You didn't know Hopper was in 2. You know Viggo Mortensen's in 3, right?
I wish you'd call me Tex.
And then 4, the worst one, Next Generation, is Matthew McConaughey or Renee Zellweger.
I've got a mind.
Oscar winners. McConaughey won. Hopper. This is a very esteemed horror franchise, man.
Okay, well, apparently Vinegar Syndrome thinks that 2 is what the people want.
They do, man. People love 2. It is the best sequel.
The best sequel.
Yeah, oh yeah. 2 is the best sequel out of all the reboots and sequels. 2 is where it's at. It's where to go.